Ivan, and you're watching Science Sunday. And we have a special for you today. There is breaking news in regards to our planet's fauna and wildlife. In specific, global warming is not just affecting humans now, it is affecting our world's oceans. It is reported that rising CO2 levels are now warming up the atmosphere, and which is directly warming up the world's ocean. I guess global warming is looking a little more scary now. Why is this important, you may ask? Well, saltwater temperatures are rising and disrupting the balance of the ocean wildlife. These rises in temperatures are causing coral reefs, which are endangered, to become severely diseased and damaged, and then in turn die. Many people may ask why this topic is even relevant. Well, this problem extends beyond just the reefs. Millions of reef organisms are beyond negatively impacted as well. To further explore this, I'm heading over to the world's second largest coral reef, which is in Cancun, Mexico. And I will be talking to specialists at the Marine Biology Center. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. I am here at the beautiful Marine Biology Center, going to interview Dr. Kevin Hill. So, Dr. Kevin Hill, can you tell us what exactly coral reef are and just give the public some general information?
Alright, so coral reefs are actually structures of marine invertebrates called coral. Over time, each coral or polyp will divide and grow until they form the large structures we call coral reefs. Many people don't realize it, but there are actually hundreds of different species of coral.
Oh wow, can you give the viewers a little bit more insight about these organisms?
Absolutely. The coral reefs are very important to the ecosystem as well as for people. The reef is estimated to be home to around 60,000 marine species, as well as it helps in other organisms. 1 to 9 million other organisms live off of it.
Wow.
They also play an important role in nitrogen cycling, and they are also very important to people as well. Billions of dollars stream into our economy from things like tourism and fishing that happen at the coral reefs. They also help protect the shoreline from waves, and that helps from the beaches getting eroded. And pharmaceutical companies have also been able to use them to help make drugs that have helped treat things like cancer, cardiovascular diseases, ulcers, and many other things.
Interesting. I never knew just how essential coral was. But could you tell us what kind of damage is being done to the coral reefs because of CO2 levels rising?
Yeah, so rising CO2 levels are causing the ocean to rise, as well as making the pH of the water lower. And that hinders the ability of the photosynthetic organisms that live within the coral. That hinders their ability to undergo photosynthesis, and it hurts the whole coral as a unit.
Wow, so why does pH affect photosynthesis?
So when you change the pH of water that these organisms live in, the enzymes may not be able to work properly, or they may start denaturing. Rubisco is a key enzyme that is used in photosynthesis that works best at pH of 8. It may stop even working entirely if the pH gets around 6. The less CO2 converted into sugars, the more toxins begin to build up within them, and then the coral may reject the photosynthetic organisms, and that's how we see the bleached coral that we're so used to seeing with the white calcium carbonate exoskeleton exposed. There was a large storm in 2010 caused by an El Nino that caused a large bleaching event, which was very bad. And as of right now, there's about 80% of the Great Barrier Reef is hurt by bleaching. Once it gets bleached, it makes the coral even more susceptible to getting things like diseases and such.
That sounds terrible. I can't believe more people didn't know about this global issue. Thank you so much for the salient information. I really value your time. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming in.
I am now with Dr. Fatimah Aftab she's a marine biologist at the Marine Biology Center, and she's going to be telling us about the effects of excess CO2 in the atmosphere.
Thank you. Welcome to the center, Denisa. Well, I'm here to tell you more about the rainforests of the ocean. Most people don't know this, but the statistics on marine life in coral is actually really extraordinary. So coral reefs are considered the most diverse marine ecosystems, housing approximately a quarter of all ocean species. And these numbers are kind of hard to believe given that the corals make up an extremely small part of the ocean's bottom. Yet millions of species, all different shapes and sizes, call the coral reefs their home.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you tell me more about coral reefs and their ecosystems?
Yeah, so these organisms such as fish, corals, and sponges all rely on coral to survive, for protection, for breeding, and for food. In addition, some organisms also live in a symbiotic relationship with the coral, meaning that both the coral and the marine organisms benefit from living in symbiosis or together.
And to your colleague, Dr. Hill, about zooxanthellae, is this an example of symbiosis?
Yeah, so it actually is. So zooxanthellae is actually an algae that lives inside the coral, and we actually study here at the center. So basically what happens is it provides algae with oxygen and other nutrients that's needed to grow, in addition to helping the coral remove waste. In return, the coral provides the algae with a protected environment as well as compounds needed for photosynthesis. So it's obvious that the coral reefs are immensely important to marine life. As my colleague Dr. Hill explained, as CO2 levels are harming the coral, all of these organisms are simultaneously being harmed.
Right.
Millions of species are losing their homes, their source of food, and their places of breeding. Scientists are predicting that in 60 or so years, if conditions remain the same, corals all around the globe will dissolve, killing off the species in and around them. So this worldwide epidemic really needs to be stopped before thousands of species begin to go extinct.
I completely agree with you. I think the problem needs to be put to an end before it gets any larger than it is. So thank you guys for listening, and now let's head to Harvard University to talk to Professor MaKayla Brooks, one of the top marine conservationists in the area. I am now with Dr. Brooks, and she's one of the lead conservationists in the nation. Hello, Professor Brooks. So tell me about how we can maintain and protect these fragile and beautiful organisms.
There's plenty of ways you can do your part in protecting the organisms. One way is by reducing your carbon footprint by conserving water. You only need to use what you need to. And then use LED light bulbs. They are more energy efficient, and they're brighter, so drive less, go for a walk, ride a bike, and if you need to drive somewhere and you know someone else who's going with you, you can always carpool. You can go outside and plant some trees because they take in a lot of the carbon dioxide, and you're reusing your plants. It's a double win.
All of these ideas sound great, and I really think the first step is education of the public, so I think this is a very good start.
Yeah, if everyone can work together, we can make a huge difference. Another way that you can help in your coral reef is by recycling. A lot of the plastic that we use every day ends up in the oceans, and it just kind of kills your coral reefs. And they're already suffering, and the rising ocean temperatures aren't helping. So it keeps your beaches looking nice and keeps your ocean ecosystem healthy.
Thank you so much for all this great information. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me on this amazing journey of interviewing some of the top specialists in the country. I really hope the public can be educated on CO2 levels and how they are harming our coral reefs and our ocean ecosystems. Tune in next time for another great episode.